Welcome into the era of AI. Hello and welcome. In this lecture, I'll introduce you to 11 Labs, which is the voiceover AI software that we're going to use to generate AI voiceover. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Now, 11 Labs isn't just capable of generating voiceover software, it's capable of a lot of things, such as voice cloning, voice creation, text-to-speech, speech-to-speech, voice library available with a lot of voices that you can use, voice dubbing, and you can also sell your own voice. So you can create a voice clone of yourself and put it on display for people that want to use it. And you can give them the license to use it commercially for their videos if you happen to have a great voice or you are a voiceover artist. That is also a great way to monetize your voiceover artist skills. Now, voice cloning enables you to clone a voice. So you can take a random voice and clone it, or you can clone your own voice, which is the ideal way of the reason why they created it. It's not for you to go ahead and just create deepfakes. Well, while you can create deepfakes, but it's better off that you do it just for fun and for academic purposes like we do. Now, voice creation, you can create an entire voice from scratch. Text-to-speech, which means you can convert text into audio. And speech-to-speech is you can take an audio and convert it into an audio with another voiceover or another voice. So you can shift the voices. Voice library gives you access to a lot of voices, and the video dubbing enables you to dub a video in a different language. For example, this is a video short that I uploaded a long time ago, and it was in English. I turned it Spanish. Let's watch this.
En este video voy a mostrarte un trabajo secundario que no podrás resistir, pero antes que nada, asegúrate de pulsar el botón de suscripción. La imagen que estás viendo justo aquí, y de hecho, no solo esta, sino esta y esta fueron todas generadas usando Leonardo AI y también podrían ser generadas utilizando el viaje. Esta en particular fue generada utilizando el diario. Había un sitio web llamado Adobe Stock o stock.adobe.com y en este sitio web la gente vende arte de stock. Llegas al sitio web, por ejemplo, y buscas león, obtendrás muchos resultados de leones y muchos de estos resultados son en realidad leones generados mediante inteligencia artificial. Pero, por ejemplo, este fue generado mediante inteligencia artificial y está clasificado bastante alto. Puedes usar un gran software como Leonardo AI para generar imágenes como estas para venderlas en Adobe Stock. Este fue el trabajo secundario de hoy. Para saber más, el video está en nuestro canal. Suscríbete y nos vemos en nuestro próximo trabajo secundario.
All right, so that's pretty much what you can do as well with VoiceOver AI 11 Labs. Now, when you go to 11 Labs, everything is pretty much straightforward. If you want to clone voices, click on Voices here. And then you have access to, well, you see the voices, you'll see the voices you have in your voice lab. I happen to have a lot of voices. And you also have an option, this plus button. It enables you to clone a voice. Now, personally, with the plan I have right now, only gives me access to put 30 voices at a time that I can use. I'm right now at 28. If I click on plus, I can either design an entire voice from scratch by going over here, increasing the accent strength, choosing an accent, for example, British, choosing the gender, let's say it's male or female. And then here there is a dummy sentence, and you can generate to get a feel of how this works.
First, we thought the PC was a calculator. Then, we found out how to turn numbers into letters, and we thought it was a typewriter.
If you're interested with this voice, you can actually click Use Voice, in which case it's going to create this voice from scratch for you, and you can use it later on. Now, if you want to clone a voice, there are two options. Instant voice cloning, which allows you to clone a voice by adding as much as 25 samples of voices. So you can record yourself talking in different times of day, in different tones, angry, sad, feeling good, happy, and so on and so forth. And you can upload these particular voices. They should not be more than 5 minutes of audio in total. And the sample quality, the video, every video, and it shouldn't be more than 10 megabytes in size per video. And you can describe this. You can add a name to your clone, and then you can add voice, or you can create a more professional clone using professional voice cloning, which also requires you to confirm this, and you can go and get started. And you can add up to 100 audios, up to 3 hours of content of yourself talking. Minimum is 30 minutes, but that will create a great voice clone for you. Now, if you want to dub videos, you can click on the dubbing option here, and that will take you right here. And you can actually take any video and dub it in any language you want, whether that be a video link. You can take a link, you can dub it based on a link, on a YouTube link or TikTok link, or you can upload by clicking on the upload feature. Select the source language of the video as well as how or what language you want to dub the video to. and give it a name and then click create. You can see some projects I've worked on here, and I can go back to the voices by clicking here. And when I go back to the voices, if you want to access the library of voices to see the voices and to test the voices, click on the voice library from here instead of voice lab. The voice lab is usually where your voices are. Voice library is where the entire voices are. So here, a lot of voiceover artists, they create a lot of voiceovers and they put them here on display. You can see how many times these voices have been used. So for example, this voice have been used by 1,700 users with 2.8 million characters generated, which means that this voice has been used quite a lot. And you can also monetize your own voice. If you create your own voice clone, you can put it here. And since this software gets millions of traffic, you can see that there are some people that have close to 6,600 people using their voices. And some people have a lot more than that, 14,000. This one is for trailer videos. Also, the keyword that you add in your title that you give to your voice is going to play a big difference. For example, this guy named his voice Tom Trailer Narrator, and which is why he got a lot more users, because people are interested to create these types of trailers, including myself. So if you want to get a sample of the audio to hear what it feels like, click on sample here.
Genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration.
And if you like that voice, you can click right here on Add to Voice Lab. You can keep it the same name, or you can change its name. I'm going to keep it the same name and just click on Add to Voice Lab, and I could find it now in the Voice Lab. Now, if I go to the top, there are some filters that you can use to search for voices. So if you want a voice for advertisement, click on the advertisement filter. You can see a lot of voices here, and you can actually test them out.
Apenas confie em si mesmo, então você saberá como viver.
This is a Brazilian accent, and so on and so forth. So, and you can also search. If you want other types of voices, you can search. You can always click back to disable the filter, and that's it. Now, if you want to generate voices, click on speech. Now, when you go to speech, here, make sure you select the voice that you want to generate text with. We have a dummy voiceover text here that I'm going to keep, but generally you have to add it here. Also, you can either, like I said, generate voices based on text to speech or speech to speech, in which case you can upload an already existing audio and you can generate the counterpart of that audio in another voice, which I do use from time to time when I want to do deepfakes. But just in this case, I'm not doing it. And by the way, deepfakes, they have a code of usage. If you're using them for academical purposes, you're just trying to show people how it works, technical aspect, you're teaching it for academic purpose, it's different than trying to use deepfakes to do some political stuff. So be very careful about your use of deepfakes. Use them responsibly. Now, and we happen to be experts in deepfakes, by the way. Now here, text-to-speech, this is the text, right? I'm going to keep it there. You can see the quota that I have. So I have 89,000 quota remaining. I have, in a month, they give me access to 100,000 characters that I can generate a voiceover with. And you can change the voiceover artist by just clicking here and looking for your voiceover artist. And for example, if I want to use my own voice clone, I can click on this voice that I have created and I can generate. And it's going to generate it in my own voice. It's not perfect.
You said you'd always be there for me. But when the chips were down, when I looked over my shoulder, where were you? This city chewed me up and you watched, sipping on your half-calf latte.
That's a pretty fun voiceover there. And you can see that it actually sounds a little bit like me, but I didn't really put so much time in adding a lot of audios to perfect my voiceover. I could have made it much better than that. Now, here, you can also go to any voice you want. So let's say we use the voice of Tom, the trailer narrator. Just look for Tom, click Tom, and generate with the voice of Tom.
You said you'd always be there for me. But when the chips were down, when I looked over my shoulder, where were you? This city chewed me up, and you watched, sipping on your half-calf latte.
That sounds fun. And by the way, if you want to control the settings of a voice, click here. You can exaggerate the style. You can add more. You can increase the similarity to the original voice. You can make it stable or unstable. Unstable means that sometimes you might say, you said you'd always be there for me. But when the chip, and then all of a sudden, he will jump to another extreme. So it's almost like you will be taken by surprise, right? So that's what they mean there by making the voice unstable or more stable. Now, I'd like to keep it at a medium level because it gives it access to make it more natural. And if you want to download this, you can download it like this. And you can use it. So when you download it, it can be used in your projects. So that pretty much sums up this lecture regarding this particular magnificent software, 11 Labs, which since I discovered it really made a lot of changes for me. Now, in order to make things a bit faster, let me go ahead and show you how you can get sound effects and music. And it's in nowhere but Pixabay. It's the best platform to get this royalty-free images and videos and sound effects for free, copyright-free. And you don't need to attribute anything to anyone. So let's go ahead and check this out. So for instance, here I'm on Google. Let's say you want to search for a sound effect, which is a glitch sound effect. If you search for glitch SFX, always add glitch SFX, which is short for sound effects, Pixabay in the keyword research, and then you should find a lot of glitches. So for instance, here's the first one. If you didn't like that, here's the second one. If you didn't like that, here's another one. Here's another one. And another one. And there's a lot, right? So there's a lot of glitch sound effects. And you can choose any one of them that you desire. For example, this is a glitch collection. There's a lot of glitch sound effects over here, and you can choose, like I said, any one of them you so desire. Now, let's say, for example, you want to, let's say, look for an impact sound effect that you show usually when there is an impact scene. I can click on Impact SFX Pixabay and then click right here. There you have it. So there's a lot of impact sounds. Let's try the first one. There's another. Here's another one. And another one. And so you can imagine, you can look for any sound effect. Now, and you can apply it to your clip or to your AI movie. Now, when it comes to music, you can remove this SFX. And depending on the music that you want to use, let's say you want to use a optimistic music, Pixabay, you'll find a lot of optimistic music, no copyright songs. For example, let's say you want to listen to this one. And you can go ahead over here and download this to your computer. There's also all sorts of music that you can use depending on what you search for. So this pretty much sums it up. In the next lecture, I'm going to teach you how you can generate the script using ChatGPT for our trailer. And the good thing is that I'm going to share with you the prompt that I use to create these AI movies. Because you have to understand something about AI movies in general, or videos in general. They have to follow a sequence of logic. Every scene must have a scene that precedes it and must have a scene. They must be logically intertwined, right? So they must be logically attached like a collar, right? So the collar, it's attached. Every part of it is attached to one another. Pretty much it should be the same thing. So it shouldn't be a movie where it's dislocated, where in a scene we talk about aliens and then in the next scene we talk about a forest. All right, so you should also remind ChatGPT that you're creating a AI movie, which means that there's this sequence of time and there's the chronological aspect to a movie. So it should be going in a logical sense and everything should make sense for the people that watch or for the viewers. So this is it for this video. The next lecture is going to be the lecture where we generate the script. And not just that, we're going to actually organize our job and take that script and transform it into a voiceover for the entire video. And then the lecture afterwards, we're going to generate the B-roll, or we're going to generate what we call the video B-roll footage that we are going to use to create the movie. Wishing you nothing but the best as always, Passive Income Gen Z signing out.